Welcome to another edition of Chasing Fruit Loops. I'm Princess Jerry Cannoli, and tonight with me is Seth Salwen from Bangers and Mash. Really cool Celtic rock and roll band. How are you, Seth?
Good, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me what's going on.
Everything, a lot of everything, a lot of nothing.
Well, a lot of nothing's not good.
Well, we had talked a little bit about what I'm going through with the nonsense with the ex and trying to balance like music and work and family and all of that.
That's a rough one.
You make it work. And, I always tell my kids, you get it done and you have fun.
Exactly.
So, so that's kind of the motto and kind of the mantra.
Tell us about the family stuff.
Family
the kids
stuff.
are so cute.
Oh, thank you. They are getting older. My son leaves for Albany in a few weeks.
Wow.
And they're both very musical. They both follow after their old man, but have exceeded me. So I guess I don't know what it's called when you follow someone and then you pass them. My son has an unbelievable gift with music. He's studied with Bobby Rondinelli, and Bobby is great, good friend, good musician, great teacher. But I mean, my kid now is Gil is writing music, he's composing, he's all kinds of stuff. He plays, he's not just a drummer, he plays kind of everything, which is awesome to watch. And, and Abby also has an ear. She just got into the a cappella group she wanted as she starts high school. So, so that's
You're
very
a proud
cool.
Papa.
Yeah, it's
You're a very proud
very
Papa
cool.
there.
When my ex-wife and I were talking about separating and splitting up, the one thing that I said had to be was that, they're my kids and I want to be involved and I want to be with them,
As much as you can.
constantly. And so, I have been, at times it hasn't been easy. At times there have been situations where, court gets involved and a lot of unnecessary nonsense. I can say that through the trials and tribulations, I've met some great people, people involved in fathers' rights groups, people involved in Gary Jacobs in Americans for Legal Reform, groups like that, where when you see what's going on and goes beyond like red light tickets and stuff like that. There's like real injustice, and there's stuff that goes on that when you see it on the surface, you're like, no, that can't be. Like, we're not in Mayberry, we're on Long Island, we're in Nassau or Suffolk, and stuff goes on that's ridiculous.
Let me tell you, I had a guest on prior show. His name is Mace Greenfield.
I know Mace.
Mace is a great guy. He opened my eyes to a bunch of stuff too. I was just like, what?
Yeah, he actually, on probably a half a dozen occasions, has said to me, can you please just give me all the paperwork and let me look through it?
Yeah.
Because this is unreal. So, and that's, I feel like the community
Pitched in.
really is very helpful. I've gotten great suggestions. I'm fortunate that I have friends who I grew up with in Rockwell Center, who I've known since Morris Elementary School, which isn't there anymore. Now it's 13 luxury homes or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But I have friends that, I still see regularly, and friends that are involved with law enforcement, with the law as far as being lawyers, and so that's been a tremendous help. It's sad that sometimes you have to do that and you have to go that route, but it's not everyone's the Brady Bunch, and not everything is wine and roses.
Exactly. It's hard out there. There's a lot of women get bitter.
Well, everyone, I guess, women, men. I hear stories from both sides, and I'm just like, it boggles the mind how people go for years without paying child support, or years without paying for the house, or years without. It just blows me away.
My girlfriend had her ex. He was paying $16 a month for child support. $16. And you want to know why? And I'm going to be a little bit rude on this one, and I'm going to say it straight out. Because he was banging his psychiatrist that wrote the paperwork. Could you imagine that? And she gets $16 a month. So she had to wait till the money accumulated to a certain amount, and then she has to take him to court. Right. But it never accumulated, and she got remarried and just said, screw this.
Bang the psychiatrist.
$16 a month for child support.
I didn't even think of that option, the bang the psychiatrist option. See, I don't have the right handbooks.
Yeah, no, it's not even the right handbook. That's horrible to do.
But you hear...
and his parents wouldn't acknowledge the granddaughter. Would not. That's not his. Looks exactly like him, hello.
And that's...
Killer.
That's what you don't want to happen. Like, my kids didn't ask for mommy and daddy to, fall out of love, right, and mommy and daddy to split up. So you want to keep it as normal for them as possible, yes, and you want to make sure that it doesn't impact them. I'm the baby of 5 kids. Okay. And my mom and dad really stressed family life, and and your family is always there. The joke is that the door is always open, and so we have a list of probably 30 people that insist that they're my parents' 6th child, that they're, and so that argument comes up a lot. But mom and dad, that's just how they raised us. I'm the only one of the siblings that has been through the divorce and been through all the. So there they are. Look at that. So and it's it's amazing. My mom and dad literally.
Nice looking family.
Thank you. They fell in love. In their youth, they were together. They eloped, and they were together. My dad passed about, I guess, 4 years ago, and the big fear with the 5 kids was that how's she going to go on without him? And she did, and mom passed in March, and she, if I tell you, it was the most beautiful. Like, for days before, she kept saying, I saw your father, I talked to your father, I'm going to see him this weekend. And I was like, hey, slow down, crazy lady, no, you're not. And the night before she passed, she said, your father's coming for me tomorrow. And I'm calm, cool, and collected, not really. I called my siblings, and I was a hysterical mess, and I was like, holy, mom is saying all this. And the next day, and I never believed in any of this until I saw it with my own eyes.
Until you see it with your own eyes, exactly.
And the next day, she had a huge smile, and she kind of held her hand out, and she said, your father's here. Look at how blue his eyes are. And I said, holy shit, you're freaking me out. And she kind of held her hand out, and that was it. So like I say, and to get 92 quality years, yeah, and to go that way in your own home, in your own bed, looking out your own window at the sunshine, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, and it's tough, and it's tough. It seems to be my siblings and I are all on the same cycle as far as I know if I'm having a rough day, They're probably having a rough day. Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's
just whacked
okay.
the.
You too,
Sorry
Mike.
in the back, guys. But she really, after the divorce, my parents were awesome. They were super supportive. And it really, that's all you can be, is like super supportive. I will tell you that if I didn't have my two bands, I don't know how I would have done this. I know people say music is healing and music is this and that, but it's the camaraderie and the family atmosphere of a band. My kids, obviously, Gil and Abby were my prime focus, and we tried to make it somewhat normal. So like the rooms were very similar in my house and in my ex-wife's house, and all the
That's good to do, though. It keeps it some sort of a normalcy for them.
Right. And that's what you kind of have to
Familiar
do.
surroundings.
On the days I didn't have the kids, and I'm sure mothers out there who I've spoken to friends of mine in the situation, and mothers and fathers both have said that, like, when they don't have the kids, it's rough. Fortunately for me, I have two bands that, when I was going through this, were super busy. So that is a huge
Took
plus.
a lot of pressure off of you.
Oh
No
my
time
God.
to
Takes-
think.
right.
No
Takes-
time to think. Gotta go, gotta do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same thing with a bad breakup,
Right.
I just put in extra hours, took another job, the whole
Right.
9 yards. Just keep busy, keep going, keep doing, keep going, keep doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's how I got the show, and that's how I put out a second book.
See? So that works.
Yeah. Made myself very proud of myself that I
And
actually
you should
finished
be.
that book.
And you
know?
should be. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was I went down to Florida after some surgery, and I brought my laptop, and as soon as I got out of the plane and into my friend's house, I just looked at him. He goes, "You want to go out for a cocktail?" I said, "No, I got to do some writing." He's like, "Whoa." And there I was.
Yeah.
It just started pouring to me.
Right. It
and
kind
then,
of flows.
yeah. Then I took a break. We went out for a bit, and then it's like 2:00 in the morning. There I am again. On
Right.
the damn laptop, yeah. So got a lot of editing done, a lot of back and forth. And next thing I know, it was like, bingo, here I am. Book's out. It's like, wow.
That's awesome. You should have the book to hold up. And
Yeah, it's not even in the truck anymore. Neither is my overnight bag. You know what? I just thought about getting a pink shirt because I really dig the color pink, light pink, and having Chasing Fruit Loops across, and that's what
you
I will
should
wear every
definitely do
week.
that.
And I'm like, you know what? I really like buying a new shirt every week.
That's true. That's true.
Now, it's bad enough I have two guys I'm very tight with. They're older gentlemen. And when I was bartending, they labeled me the T-shirt whore. Because here it is, it's Sunday football, and they come in at 11 o'clock. I got to put this game on, and I have to like that team, so I have that team shirt. And then, a couple of hours later, I have to switch shirts because the other game is game on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hold on, and then I got to switch again because now I'm hanging out with them after work to watch another game with another T-shirt on. So they labeled me the T-shirt whore.
It's very funny because on either Cover Band Central or one of the Facebook boards, someone said, what do you people find is the best promotion or the best, what ties in for name recognition? And people were talking about bumper stickers and beer koozies, and one guy said T-shirts, because think about it, it's a billboard that travels wherever the person goes. Mm-hmm. And I said, I can't tell you how many venues out of state and out of the area when we're traveling, the first thing that the owner does, because he knows that we're a band that plays nationally, is he'll say, what's everyone's sizes? And it makes sense because then, like last week, I'm playing in Cleveland and I'm wearing a shirt from the Freckled Fin in Florida. And, then then during the week when we're playing upstate New York, I'm wearing a shirt from Cleveland. And
Right, yeah, you rotate the shirt.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And people are like, wow. Or they'll come up to you and be like, how do you know Pop's Diner in Tampa? I'm in Bangers and Mash. We play in Tampa in January and in March. And then it opens up a whole discussion.
It's like the back of my truck. The back of my truck has Chasing Fruit Loops. I still have to get the Strong Island put on. And people are like, what's Chasing Fruit Loops?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I have an internet radio show. Can we take a picture with you with the truck? It's like, sure, you can take a picture with my truck. How about if I just stand in the picture?
Right.
You know?
Come over
My
here.
hair's in a knot. I just walked out of, whatever store I'm in, and I really just don't want to take a picture.
That's funny. That is funny.
All right, we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Bangers and Mash. ALJ Service Center, 2100 Belmore Avenue in Belmore. Ray and the crew have an outstanding reputation in the Belmore community, built by hard work, honesty, and professionalism. ALJ specializes in computer diagnostics for today's modern automobiles. Whether it's domestic or foreign, ALJ assures your vehicle is at peak performance when it leaves. ALJ also offers expert restoration and repair on vehicles as well as antique, classic, and muscle cars. Call ALJ for your automotive needs. 516-409-4433. Once again, that number is 516-409-4433.
This is Jerry Ann Casola. She has just finished working on a collection of short stories about the love and joy rescue animals can bring. Each chapter contains a message about how people should and could be kinder to animals. The book is rated G, meaning family friendly. To order Life in the Pits, send $13 to paypal.me/Jerry Ann Casola. Welcome to Tristan Morris Photography. We specialize in weddings, sweet 16s, and events of all kinds. Our highly trained team of photographers and videographers customize each shoot specifically for your event. Large or small, indoors or out, trust Tristan Morris Photography to show you and yours in the best light. Call today for your appointment at 516-541-6000. That's 516-541-6000. And enjoy our website at tristanmorrisphotography.com.
Pit of Our Souls, a nonprofit animal rescue that deals primarily with pit bulls but will never turn away any dog, no matter what breed or size. Their primary focus is not only to rescue and rehome those in need, but to educate and rehabilitate to prevent the cycle from continuing. Pit of Our Souls offers boarding, training, and as much assistance as possible to those in need. Call Pit of Our Souls 516-308-6221 or check out their website www.pitofoursoulsrescue.com. And we're back with Seth Salwen from Bangers and Mash. So tell us all about Bangers and Mash. That is a very quirky, kind of cool name.
Okay, so years ago, I was in a Motown and oldies band called Plan B. I feel like I'm rolling backwards, and Plan B.
That didn't have Paul Terra in it, did it?
It was
No.
It was
Okay.
Dave Brenner, Gary Schwimmer, Melissa Goodman. Bob Haddard on bass, John Lorifis, myself, and the band. When I joined it, they had been together since probably Gary and Dave, probably since before I was born.
Okay.
And they, when I joined, they were like, yeah, we want to play out a couple of times a month. And then it led to, let's try and book us every weekend. And then it led to like corporate gigs and country club gigs on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And so we were playing probably, I would say 110, 115 gigs a year. And one day we were out at the Senex Creek Inn, and a guy who I knew just from seeing around on Long Island, Seth Salwen, came over, and he said, hey, good to see you. We should, this was back in like the MySpace days.
Oh, good old MySpace.
We should exchange numbers. You never know. And I said, hey, you never know. I would say probably 10 years later, because Plan B had kind of morphed into 27 East, and we were doing 75, 80 gigs a year. And I used to see all the time Bangers and Mash playing all over the place. And I get a call from him one day, and he says, do you know any drummers who are looking
to work?
And I said, you guys have a very aggressive schedule. But I know nothing about Irish music. I said, I don't know, I'm like a Jewish kid from Rockville Center. And he says, never mind. And so it's Seth Salwen talking to Seth Salwen, and he says, you should come down. Come down and check us out. Okay. So I went to see them at either O'Reilly's or Riley's, O'Sullivan's, I don't know, some Irish...
Some old Irish bar.
Some old Irish bar. I walked in, the place was jam-packed, and I see Seth's wife, Carol, is one of the singers, and she's playing the bow run, and she's standing on a table, and the fiddler's dancing around, and Liam, the singer, is like playing spoons on his chest, and I was thinking, this is like a nut house, I was so... But meanwhile, it kind of sucked me in, and I'm watching it thinking this is complete insanity. And they were doing Irish stuff that I had never heard of. Then they did like some Thin Lizzy and some U2, so I'm like, okay, this I know. But he said to me, do you have any interest? So I said, well, it's funny, 27 East has a lull coming up. I'll do a few gigs with you, and we'll see how it kind of fits. And he says, okay, Monday, this was a Friday or Saturday night. He says, Monday you'll come to my house, we're going to rehearse. And then Wednesday we'll leave for West Virginia. So I was kind of like,
just like that.
It's Irish music. How hard could it be? And then I called Rondinelli. I'm like, what do you think about this? He's like, get me a song list. It's Irish music. I'll help you out. How hard could it be?
Yeah, with the last name Rondinelli.
Right.
How Irish is that?
Rondinelli's teaching Salwen about Irish music. We had a couple of practices, and some of it I got, some of it was completely, no pun intended, foreign to me. Wednesday night came, and Chad, the guitarist, picked me up, and we drove down to West Virginia. And I said, I'm a little nervous. You'll do fine. And we got there, and we stayed at Cousin Marion's beautiful home, and she's Chad's cousin, but now she's like Bangers and Mash adopted cousin. There's a lot of that where we kind of, the circle grows, and everyone kind of comes into the circle. But so we're getting ready for the gig, and I said to Carol, I'm a little nervous. And Carol's like, you'll be fine. And I said,
how do you know?
to Seth, I'm a little nervous. And he's like, you'll be fine. We get inside. I had notes written on set lists. I had everything. And I'm like, I got this. And then the fiddle player walked in, and she said, we're going to start with, and I said, wait, who are you? And I had never met her she wasn't at rehearsals or anything.
Yeah.
So I looked over at Liam, the singer, and I'm like, Liam. He's like, don't worry, you'll be fine.
I I don't like that.
If I tell you, not only was I not fine, it was the longest first set of my life. It was, I'm shocked no one, tried to kill me in the band, let alone in the crowd. I went out on the break and called my daughter and I said, she's like, how's it going, Daddy? Tell me all about it. And I said,
I have no idea.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm terrible and I should burn my drums and bury them with a shovel and then bury the shovel. And while I'm on the phone with her, Chad walked over, and Chad is ex-NYPD, and he's very caring. This is sarcastic. He's very caring and nurturing. He said, I don't know what the hell that just was, but I will throw your drums out all along I-95 if you don't get better. And I was thinking,
sugar.
That's not going to really help me.
Yeah,
Second set, Seth called a couple of audibles, started with songs that he knew that I knew, and as the night went on, it got a lot better. And like the fiddler would turn to me and say, I'm going to count you in, and you're going to play, give me a shuffle, give me a country shuffle, give me a... And and this was a 2-night situation.
Oy.
The first night couldn't end fast enough. It was rough. I have to thank my bandmates for not strangling me
And
or
throwing your drums on the I-95.
throwing my drums out on the road or doing like one of those, a sock with like soap in it, like in jail or something like that. The second night was a lot better. Since then, we have played, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 states. We have played all the big Irish festivals. And the funny thing is that when I joined up with Bangers and Mash, and I don't know if the angle, yeah, I guess that works.
He's so cute, this guy.
This was I feel like I'm pulling out all kinds of marketing stuff. That's how you could tell I was in pharmaceuticals for so long. Look, I have pens.
Are you a pharmacist? Because I'm a pharmacy tech.
No. I was in pharmaceutical sales and marketing.
Oh, okay.
So when I joined, we had Bangers and Mash had just released this CD. It's really like the covers on it are so vastly different from like the traditional. Liam always says we're not your grandmother's Irish band unless your grandmother's really cool, and that's kind of the way it is. The recent CD, and this is I would say mostly all original. I think it might be all original. This CD, we were in the studio up in the Bronx. John Walsh, an amazing guy, a great musician, great engineer. But the title track is called Whisper Valley, and it's all about where we were playing down in Romney. And Chad, the guitar player, his family is down there, and they used to go down there during the year, and so that's what he wrote the song about. And it really, like when I listen to it, knowing how to get there and all of that, it's kind of cool because this is his life, and it's like we're all part of it. It's the coolest part is when you're playing and you see people singing it. And you walk in and you see hundreds of people singing along to a Bangers and Mash song. It's like, that's us. That's us.
Shall we listen to the song?
I would love to listen to it.
All right. We're going to listen to Whisper Valley.
Whisper Valley.
All right. Play it for us, Jason.
I'm just a South Shore boy, raised in Suffolk County. Flounder fishing, clamming on the flats. I still hang with friends down by the inlet. There's a place in my childhood I never will forget. Take Highway 50 into Romney, then cut to 28 back to Whisper Valley. Back to Whisper Valley. Dad was gone by the time that I was 5. Hard times came, but somehow we knew that we'd survive. When the wolf was at the door, Mom would say, no matter what, we're gonna have to leave the shore. Leave the shore. Take Highway 50 into Romney, then cut to 28 back to Whisper Valley. Back to Whisper Valley. Changed, and I'm doing much better. When I feel that tug on my heart, just get on my Harley, head to West Virginia, safe haven, Anderson's corner of the world. Take Highway 50 into Romney, then cut to 28 back to Whisper Valley. Back to Whisper Valley. Take Highway 50 into Romney, then cut to 28 back to Whisper Valley. Back to Whisper Valley. Home to Whisper Valley, safe home in Whisper Valley.
And we're back.
I like that song.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening to last night and this morning, just to freshen up and go through the bios that you sent and everything.
Right.
And I'm just like, that does not sound Irishy. That's not that's like kind of Southern rock, like. But it is it's got such a beat that I really dig. Makes me want to go out.
Right. So we do a lot of, we play down south a lot. I don't remember if it was Seth or if it was, I think it was Seth coined the phrase Americelt. And, when I first heard it, I'm like, Americelt? But to call us a Celtic rock band, like, I get it, and a lot of the stuff that's on here historically is based on Irish culture and Irish heritage. We just, on this CD, actually the last song, Paddy's Day, New York City, was written by a dear friend of ours, Mike O'Connor. And that song was just listed as number 87 on the top 100 Irish songs of all time. put out by either Larry Kerwin or it was like some Irish music authority.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, yeah. But even there was a band years ago, and now that I'm exposed to it, and now that I play it and I listen to it constantly, there was a band years ago out of Canada called McKeel, Mackeel, and they had, I don't know if it was a hit. I know it had
a one-hit wonder.
A cult following. They had a song called "On That Day." This band had bagpipes, and it's not like if you watch early AC/DC, Bon Scott played the bagpipes. So on "It's a Long Way to the Top," if you want to rock and roll, he does that crazy bagpipe part. But this song "On That Day" has bagpipes, and we have another dear friend, Buddy,
A piper.
who's a piper, and he used to go on tour with us, and he'd come up and do 4 or 5 songs in the course of the night. One of the songs we did was "On That Day," but Patty's Day, New York City has, I don't know, it and there's a video for it. If you do a YouTube search, I'm sure you can find it, and it's on the Bangers and Mash page, bangersandmashband.com. You feel like you're at the parade. It's really, really cool.
I was watching that one this morning
It's
again
really
too.
cool.
I never did the parade.
It's
No.
if you could do it without having to get on that gross train coming home, then it's a lot better.
Jerry don't like crowds.
Oh, yeah, then you wouldn't. Then you wouldn't
No,
like it.
I get a little twitchy in crowds.
So it's
yeah.
it's but look, we see it, we do St. Patrick's Day in Delray, which is the way to spend St. Patrick's Day. A few years ago, we were on Long Island. We had a crazy schedule leading up to St. Patrick's Day. I'm saying 3-4 years ago, and it was like snow and rain. It was the craziest, cold, miserable. And Seth kept getting asked to go to Florida and kept getting offers for Florida. And finally, like we were standing outside under a tent, freezing, and he said, screw this, I'm setting up a Florida tour for next year. And now we do St. Patrick's Day in Florida. We had the week leading up to the day, the high holiday, if you're in Bangers and Mash, the week leading up to that, we do, probably 10 gigs in the 7 days. And then on the day, we play at this great place, Packy's East in Lookout Point, and then we go to Tim Finnegan's in Delray. And we went from one gig to the other. I actually left a drum set at Tim Finnegan's the night before. I traveled down there with 2 drum sets, and this way we can jump from one gig to the next. And we started at, I guess, 4, and I would say around maybe 10:30, I had to pee so bad, and I was begging for a break. We played, I don't know how Liam and Carol do it, because they are singing nonstop, and he'll sing one and she'll sing one, and then they'll do a duet, and him and her and her and him and duet. And for that amount of time, it's like, and the rest of us just, I joke around that it was like a 5 t-shirt gig for me, because, and you saw when I got here, I've already had one wardrobe change. It was brutal, but it was so much fun. And then when you look and you're like, oh my God, we've been playing 5 hours. It's just amazing.
All right, and we'll be back. We're going to take a commercial break.
ALJ Service Center, 2100 Belmore Avenue in Belmore. Ray and the crew have an outstanding reputation in the Belmore community, built by hard work, honesty, and professionalism. ALJ specializes in computer diagnostics for today's modern automobiles. Whether it's domestic or foreign, ALJ assures your vehicle is at peak performance when it leaves. ALJ also offers expert restoration and repair on vehicles as well as antique, classic, and muscle cars. Call ALJ for your automotive needs. 516-409-4433. Once again, that number is 516-409-4433.
This is Jerry Ann Casola. She has just finished working on a collection of short stories about the love and joy rescue animals can bring. Each chapter contains a message about how people should and could be kinder to animals. The book is rated G, meaning family friendly. To order Life in the Pits, send $13 to paypal.me/JerryAnn Casola. Welcome to Tristan Morris Photography. We specialize in weddings, sweet 16s, and events of all kinds. Our highly trained team of photographers and videographers customize each shoot specifically for your event. Large or small, indoors or out, trust Tristan Morris Photography to show you and yours in the best light. Call today for your appointment at 516-541-6000. That's 516-541-6000. And enjoy our website at tristanmorrisphotography.com.
Pit of Our Souls, a nonprofit animal rescue that deals primarily with pit bulls but will never turn away any dog, no matter what breed or size. Their primary focus is not only to rescue and rehome those in need, but to educate and rehabilitate to prevent the cycle from continuing. Pit of Our Souls offers boarding, training, and as much assistance as possible to those in need. Call Pit of Our Souls 516-308-6221 or check out their website www.pitofoursoulsrescue.com.
And we're back with Seth Salwen from Bangers and Mash.
I'm really enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. I can't believe how the time is flying.
I know, right?
I have to give a shout out to my son Gil and my daughter Abby.
And how old were they there?
Oh my God, that's in Merrick at my sister's house, but that's an old pig. In my mind, that's what that's my parents' back porch. And again, in my mind, that's what Gil and Abby look like. When I saw the pictures from him of the prom, I was like, holy smokes, my baby boy is like, and also when I talk to him now, there's that, because he's like 4 inches taller than me. She's my height, but I don't think she's done
Yeah,
yet.
Spurting.
So I
My
said
guy's
for the
6'1".
first time, so you got it. I said
Yeah, I
for the
got it.
first time I see eye to eye with her. But they are, they're awesome. They are awesome. I might be the only father that when we go in somewhere, the kids look at me and they're like, now behave or we're going to have to leave. And I get that, or daddy, lower your music when we're driving. So there's kind of a weird role reversal type thing with that. But
My son listens to the same music as me, so we don't argue in the
so
car.
then it works out.
Yeah.
He now, his music leans more towards what I listen to. She listens to crap, but that's the age. And I'll put stuff on, or like when I gave them the CD, he wrote like little critiques about each song and what he thought was good. And my daughter was like, yeah, I listened to a few seconds of each song. And, I like this one. I like the hook. They use all the terms. I like the hook. This one, the chorus is great. Too wordy. The verses are too wordy. And I'm thinking, you're 12 years old. What do you know? But they are, constantly saying to me, you know, Daddy, I'll say, you got to hear this jig or this Irish folk tune, and they're like, Daddy, you're Jewish. You're a Jewish boy from Long Island, and we laugh. The funny thing is that I also have a cover band that morphed from Plan B. One night we had a heated discussion at Eleanor's in Bohemia. And we were standing there, and the guitarist said, I know you have another band. I know you're working on something else. You should do whatever you want to do with them. And he said, at least give me the courtesy of telling me the name. And I looked up, and there was a sign that said 27 East. And I said, 27 East. And I looked over at my singer, and I said, Rebecca, 27 East, and she like went on her phone, saw the domain name was available. We got the domain name, and we didn't miss a beat. That was it was September 29th, 2011, and that's when we became 27 East. Plan B is still Dave and Gary and those guys, but 27 East went on to do the stuff my kids like. A lot of pop, a lot of current stuff, some country crossover. The band is very good at reading the crowd. Rebecca's great at that. Charlie is great at that. Where they'll, you know, my guitarist will. I don't know if they sense it or what, but these guys will say go into a disco song, or they'll name a song, or name a country song, and if it goes and you see the crowd is really digging it, we'll go into 3, 4, 5 of those type songs, and it keeps people on the dance floor. It's as far away from what I do with Bangers and Mash, and like now, that's the weird thing for me, is I get the whole cover band thing, but I also get the whole original band thing. When I am not playing, I drag the kids out to see other bands, and they're like, oh my God, are you kidding?
It's like, come on, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of great music on Long Island.
There is.
A lot of great original stuff, a lot of you know, I think every market has a lot of tribute bands, but there's everything you could want, that from A to Z, from jazz to blues to it's just amazing. And what's awesome is that my big sisters used to take me to the Right Track Inn.
You remember that place?
Well, I wasn't of age, so they used to do the thing where you kind of lick the hand and transfer the stamp, and they used to go see Broken Arrow every week. And you know, to know that those guys are still playing now, and Joey Perez is out there, and Vinny, and it's just Mark Phillips, and it just cracks me up because they were such a huge part of my youth.
Do you have any Bangers and Mash dates coming up on Long Island?
As a matter of fact, we do. A week from Friday, we are at, very local, at the Third Rail in Belmore. Saturday, we are at, and that's a week from this Friday, Saturday, we are at the Highland Games at Old Westbury Gardens, the Highland Festival.
Scottish Festival.
Scottish Festival. So I'll get to, all weekend I'll be saying, if it ain't Scottish, it's crap. And I'll get to do that over and over. And then Sunday, during the day of that same weekend, we are at the Village Lantern in Lindenhurst. And that is an awesome German restaurant. And where else are you going to hear an Irish band with 2 Jewish guys named Seth playing at a German restaurant? I feel like it's, if you didn't see the Beatles at Shea, this is one of those events where you have to, you know.
So we have one more song?
Yeah, this is a song called The Hangover Song. I'm not going to say which member of the band it was written about because she'll be mad at me.
Oh.
So Another original, and there is now a video for it that I think is on bangersandmashband.com, and it's semi nonfiction. I don't know what you'd even. It's written about someone in the band, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, we're going to close out tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Next week I have Kim Gaines. She's from the Helping Hand Rescue Mission.
Awesome.
So let's hear the last song. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
I woke up early this morning, whiskey dancing in my head. No thanks to cream and sugar, I'll take Bailey's instead. Who in God's name turned the lights on? Why's that sun touching my head? It's a Sunday morning, I think I'll stay in bed. I was at the pub last evening, I made a fool of myself again. If I don't remember, then it didn't happen. I hope it happens again. It's another Sunday morning, car bomb floating in my head. I miss Bobby Connie's sermon, I'll drink a Guinness instead. For breakfast I'll have some bangers, maybe some mash on the side. Give me a shot of some whiskey, it'll keep me warm inside. I was at the pub last evening, I made a fool of myself again. If I don't remember,